everyone. Welcome. Thank you. I just want you to take a moment and just silence your cell phones for us, please. We're here for a very exciting and joyous occasion, and I'm going to ask you all please to rise.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alan Truss. I'm the Chief Bankruptcy Judge in the Eastern District of New York, but I'm not here to take your houses or your cars. This morning we're here to celebrate 50 new American citizens here at the beautiful Mineola High School. It's a privilege and an honor for me to be here, be a small part of this wonderful program this morning. There are so many people to thank. We'll get to all of those folks at the end of this morning's program. But to begin, I'm going to ask that you all now rise for our national anthem, led by the Mineola High School a cappella choir. Thank you so very much. Please be seated. I would like to now welcome Catherine Fishman, the Deputy Superintendent of the Mineola Public Schools, to give a welcome address. Catherine.
It was a beautiful sunny afternoon, July 15, 1985, when I got off the plane and saw America for the very first time. Outside the airport, the first thing I noticed was that the cars were really big compared to what I was used to, and many of them were black. Where I came from, only government officials had black cars. The first few weeks were magical, reuniting with cousins, experiencing New York City, feeling the pulse of its streets, the diversity, the towering billboards, the bright lights of Times Square. I wanted to bottle every moment to bring it all back home and brag up to everyone, I've seen America. A month later, I found out we were not going back. We had 2 suitcases filled with summer clothes and $1,200 to our name. And from that moment, there were thousands of first times, unfamiliar things, places and feelings. Years worth, actually. I wish I could say the American dream unfolded before us like a fairy tale, but in reality, those first years were hard. My parents in their 30s left behind not just possessions, but a life, friends, memories, a language, and all certainty. My brother, 7, was hiding food under his pillow. I was 16 years old. I went to school, feeling lost, standing out with my accent, my confusion, my silence. Through the generosity of people and organizations, we received donations of clothes, plates, pots, pillows, blankets, all the basic things one needs to survive. Every Friday, a box appeared on our doorstep: bread, chicken, and grape juice. On holidays and special occasions, my parents splurged for Coca-Cola for me and Kit Kats for my brother, our new favorite things. But I was ashamed and angry that my family needed donations when we had everything, that we were foreigners who didn't speak English, that calling an ambulance or figuring out what to do when there was an announcement on the subway was an ordeal, because we couldn't understand, couldn't speak, didn't have, and didn't belong. I thought, doesn't the American dream mean richer life? We were poorer than ever. Doesn't the American dream mean a sense of belonging? We did not belong. How can one live the American dream if you're not even American? And to become American, do you need to change everything about who you are? It was a struggle. It was fear and doubt. It was also the faintest hope that one day this will all make sense somehow and will be worth it. But that hope began to grow. It grew because of people, neighbors, teachers, strangers, who helped, who guided, who gave us dignity when we felt like we had lost it. I went to college 2 years later with some basic English skills and a dictionary in hand. My parents got better jobs. We got our own house. And my brother could have Kit Kat and I had Coca-Cola, even on ordinary days. We made friends, memories, connections, learned the language, and slowly a new life emerged, a better life than we ever had before. Through the respect and genuine care of people and opportunities that led to accomplishments, I realized that it is in fact our differences that thread the fabric of this country that make America rich and beautiful. On the day we became citizens, we sat in a room in Manhattan, like you're sitting here now. We recited the pledge, stood for the national anthem. We swore to support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America. And in the midst of tears of relief and pride, we meant every word. For me, it was not about paperwork and passports. It was about belonging. It was the day I no longer had to explain myself, no longer had to start my nationality with a story and disclaimers. I I was American. Anywhere in the world, I would say, I am an American, not by birth, but by choice. And I will never, ever take that for granted. Each of you has a journey of your own, colored with hope, loss, joy, doubt, sacrifice, accomplishments, and aspirations. You earned citizenship in this country through sacrifice and hard work. Today you will become American citizens, not by birth, but by choice. And today, America chooses you too. There are students, staff, administrators, and public officials who came to honor you as you accept citizenship today. There are students in classrooms watching this event. You are hope and inspiration for those waiting to get citizenship themselves. Today, because of you, all of our students, born here or not, get to experience the value and gift of citizenship. On behalf of our superintendent, Dr. Nagler, the Board of Education, and our entire school community, it is our greatest honor and privilege to open our doors to welcome you, to celebrate with you, and to honor you for your journey and your choices. You are home. When you walk out of this auditorium today, my wish and message for you is this: be proud of who you are, where you came from, and make it part of your American dream. After all, isn't that the best part of being American?
Thank you, Catherine. I'm now going to ask our soon-to-be new American citizens to please rise and to turn to your oath of allegiance. Please raise your right hand and repeat responsively after me. I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God. Excellent. I'm going to ask you now to turn to your Pledge of Allegiance, and I will welcome up the Mineola High School learner. Please place your right hand over your heart. Please stand. Stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Let's say it all together.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So you all may be seated. Thank you. We're now going to hear a musical performance of America the Beautiful from Mineola High School musicians. That was excellent. Thank you all very much. I would like to ask everybody to now give a round of applause to our new American citizens and welcome them. Don't leave yet. There's more. So it's my pleasure now to introduce our keynote speaker, my good friend and Second Circuit Judge, the Honorable Joseph F. Bianco. If any of you are wondering what a career in public service looks like, or what a dedicated public servant looks like, look no further than Judge Bianco. After graduating law school, he spent several years working in the United States Attorney's Office, both here in New York and in Washington, fighting crime, fighting terrorism. He handled many, many difficult cases during his tenure in the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then he joined the bench in the Eastern District of New York as a district judge, where he presided over many, many difficult cases, including a large number of gang violence cases. Several years ago, Judge Bianco's great service as a district judge was acknowledged when he was promoted to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. That was a great day for our circuit, a good day for me because it meant he could reverse me less being up at the circuit. He has continued, though, his dedication to public service, working with many court competitions, bringing students into our courthouses, and overseeing the summer camp at the Central Islip Courthouse, where he tries to get people more involved in what we do in the federal judiciary, what it means to be involved in the law, and as importantly, or more importantly, what it means to be engaged in civics. Not only is Judge Bianco a dedicated public servant, he's also a man of deep faith. He is not only, in addition to being a circuit judge, he's also a deacon at his own church. He apparently sleeps about 15 minutes a day. So, please welcome the wonderful and esteemed Judge Bianco.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Judge Truss, for that very kind introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, or I should say my fellow citizens, today is a great day. It's a special day. It's a day I know you've long looked forward to, right? You waited years and years and years for this day to come. You did it. You made it, and you should be really proud of yourselves. And we are truly delighted to be able to welcome you as a school, as a community, as a nation, as a citizen of the United States of America. And as the Deputy Superintendent mentioned, you're part of history today. We're all part of history. There has not been a naturalization ceremony at a school. Usually you do this at the courthouse. It's the first time in over 20 years that we've gone out into the community and done it at a school. And as was mentioned, it's being live streamed across the district so that all students can experience this wonderful day. Now, I know you hold close to your hearts, and you should always hold close to your hearts. Your native land, its people, its customs, its culture, its traditions, right? Music, language, food, as the Deputy Superintendent mentioned. This is an extremely important part of who you are deep in your heart. And that's something you never lose, no matter what. Don't worry, you're not losing that today. You're just adding something amazing. You just became a citizen of the United States of America, my friends. As you sit there, you are now an American. Sounds good, right? You are an American. The United States of America is, by virtue of that oath that you just raised your hand and swore to, as much your country as it is my country. Don't ever forget that. Don't let anyone out there ever tell you otherwise. As of this day, your citizenship stands equal to that of every single other American. Today, this country embraces you and bestows upon you all the freedoms and the protections and the guarantees of the United States Constitution and the laws of the United States of America. All these wonderful rights that people around the world are dying to try to get, right? You know these rights. These students study these rights. I see these rights come alive, as Judge Truss does every day in the court. Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of association, freedom of religion, the right to vote, the right to be given due process before you're deprived of your liberty or your property. And this is really important for you to remember. You're entitled to equal protection of the laws of the United States, regardless of your race, national origin, religion, your gender. If anybody out there tries to discriminate against you, we are here. The courts are here to defend you, to protect you from any type of discrimination. I encourage you, each of you, to be an active citizen. I encourage you to vote. I encourage you, if you see something wrong, to speak out and voice your opinion and be heard in a civilized way. I encourage you to help those less fortunate in our nation and even beyond our borders, because I believe in my own heart, this is my own opinion, but I believe very strongly that the truest measure of what we call a great nation is how that nation treats those who are most in need, the most vulnerable, the most voiceless among us. Now, we should remember on this special day that these freedoms which we all enjoy as Americans have not come without an enormous price. You're now a citizen of this great nation, that part of the family of the United States of America, part of the fabric of our long tradition. And for over 200 years, our citizens have made great sacrifices on behalf of the nation and on behalf of the world. In fact, so many of our citizens have made what we call the ultimate sacrifice of giving their life. Think about that. We get one life. They laid down their life so that you and I and others could live in this wonderful freedom. There are so many examples of this in our country's great history. I just share a few to just reflect on for a moment. And again, these students studied these great moments in our history. There are those who gave their lives in the Civil War. Thousands and thousands of people died in that war to defeat the evil of slavery that existed in this country for way too many years. There are those who gave their lives at the beaches of Normandy and all those great battles of World War II to defeat the evil of fascism, Nazism, that threatened this nation and all freedom-loving people around the world. More recently, our citizens have gone to places like Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, to defeat the terrorists who are blowing up and killing innocent civilians. And we should never forget, as a nation, never forget the loss of our fellow citizens in the senseless evil of 9/11 and the horrific attack that occurred on our people and our freedom on that terrible day. I remember that day like it was yesterday. As those towers were on fire, people were running for their lives. The first responders, police officers, firefighters, EMS, they ran in. And they gave their life trying to save others. That's the best of America right there. As I speak to you at this moment, thousands and thousands of our fellow citizens, men and women in New York, Texas, California, some other state, or some dangerous corner of this world are putting their lives on the line today, at this moment, to protect all of us and to protect the freedoms we enjoy. And it is our duty as a citizen, each and every one of us, to honor those people by contributing in our own way. Now I'm talking about money, you don't need $1 to do this. I'm talking about contributing with who you are as a person. You all come here with such wonderful life experiences and talent and culture, beautiful and unique in your own way. And the hope is that each one of us with our lives will contribute with who we are as a person to make this place a better nation for all of us and for the future generation. There they are, the future. Like who, me? Yeah, you guys are the future. Now, if you turn on the news this morning or any other morning, what do we hear on the news normally? We normally have bad news, right? We hear about war in Ukraine, war in the Middle East. Sometimes we hear about some crime or some shooting, and we know these problems are real and they're serious. That's reality. But my friends, I want to assure you on this special day in your life that notwithstanding those problems, the United States of America still and always holds the promise of a better life for you and for your family. The Founding Fathers wrote this in the Declaration of Independence over 200 years ago, but it is 100% true to this day, and I can't say it any better than they did. You probably know this line, it's very famous. Actually, the students better know this line. This is a test. Are you guys ready? You know you're ready to test. You guys know this, I want to hear it loud. And they wrote in that document that you have the inalienable right in this nation, not from your government, from your creator, to life, to liberty, and the A+. A+. The pursuit of happiness. My friends, you just became a citizen. The most free, the most powerful, the most prosperous, the most diverse, the most generous nation that has ever existed in the history of the world. That's a fact. And I'm not saying the United States is a perfect country. That's not what I'm saying. We're made up of people who are imperfect and hopefully we can improve in a lot of different ways. But like no other country in history, this nation provides a path for its citizens who will take the freedom they're given, work hard, and watch their world light up. You know, one of the things we do during this ceremony is the Pledge of Allegiance. I get chills, especially when we have students all standing and pledging allegiance to that flag. And we have a lot of symbols in this nation. To me, that's our greatest symbol right there, because that flag has been with us since the very beginning. And it has flown. It continues to fly. It flies in every school. It flies in every courtroom in America. It flies at the White House, at the Capitol, at the Supreme Court. It flies on the moon, because they planted that flag on the moon when they landed on the moon. One of the most famous photos in our nation's history is the Battle of Iwo Jima from World War II. You may know this photo, where the Marines planted that flag in victory. And maybe you know this too. These students are probably too young, but I brought a photo of this with me. When those towers fell on 9/11, within hours, as those first responders were digging through the rubble, 3 firefighters, if we could just put that up on the screen, 3 firefighters took the American flag and they planted it in that rubble. Wow. Why? Because wherever that flag flies, it represents the values that we share as a nation. Freedom, opportunity, equality, justice, peace, and perseverance. Because that flag says, Americans never surrender, Americans never give up. And you're part of that now. You're part of that. And so many citizens have taken the oath you just took, gone back out, and achieved unbelievable success and happiness like that. It doesn't take generations and generations. You don't have to know somebody. That's not the DNA of America. The DNA of America is opportunity for everyone. And that's why this ceremony is so special for me and for everyone up here. We heard the deputy superintendent's story on mayor. The mayor of Mineola just told us on Friday is the 30th anniversary of his naturalization as a U.S. citizen. Everybody has that same feeling. And that's why this is special for me. I was born here as a U.S. citizen, but my grandparents and great-grandparents came to America just like you, hoping for that better life. I just want to share this very quickly. 1 minute, my family story. My grandparents have all passed away. But if my grandfather Bianco were here, in my mind, I can imagine how shocked he would be. He'd be scratching his head that his grandson's a judge presiding over a naturalization ceremony that he went through. When he came here in the 1920s from Italy, he had nothing. He had the clothes on his back. He went through Ellis Island. You guys know Ellis Island, right next to the Statue of Liberty. That's what was going on back then. People were getting dropped off in ships. He was on one of those ships, and then he didn't know what to do. He's like, I made it. What do I do now? He went to Pennsylvania. He worked in a coal mine. He worked as a tailor, shoemaker. These are the skills he had from Italy. He was sending money back to his family, right? You guys know that. Sometimes you're sending money back to your family. And then he went out to Little Rock, Arkansas. I asked my dad, why did he do that? This is funny. This is more common back then. There was an arranged marriage. My grandmother's family had come here from Italy, the only place they could find work on a farm in Arkansas. He went out there, he married my grandmother like he was told. They came back to New York, and they had 9 kids, including my dad. My wife and I, we have 6 kids. You know what my dad says? He's 92. That's nothing. We're overwhelmed. It's a blessing, but he's not impressed. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away when my father was 9 years old. There was my grandmother. She'd only gone to the 3rd grade. She had no education. She had no job. She had no money. She had no husband. And she had 9 little kids running around the house. And sometimes you may hear people say, well, America's a land of opportunity, but not for those kids. They have too many obstacles, too many challenges. They're not going to make it. It's a lie. It's a lie. There's nothing stopping anybody in this country. My father enlisted in the Air Force when he turned 18. He became a fighter pilot, an officer. He went over to Korea. He went into the Korean War. He came back. He got a job with one of the airlines. He became a captain for one of the biggest airlines in the country. When I was their age, I was flying with 727s with him in the cockpit, larger than life for a little high school kid like me. My other grandfather was not a well-educated guy. He was a plumber in Brooklyn his whole life. I used to go on trips with him, and his plumbing truck was so old, I mean, like they moved pipes everywhere. He only talked about one thing. He wanted his 3 children, which included my mom, and his grandchildren, to get an education and to have a better life. And they told me over and over again when I was in high school, they told me 3 things. Work hard every day to be the best person you can be. Take care of your family, always take care of your family, and treat other people the right way, and something good will happen to you in this country. And they're right. I'm the first lawyer in the family on either side. So you guys know what that means? When my family has legal problems, guess who they call? You're laughing, but when you're a judge, you can't be a lawyer. It's a conflict. So when my family calls and they say, hey, I need you to be my lawyer, I say, I can't be your lawyer. I'm a judge. You have to go find a lawyer. And they say, this judge thing's not working out like we thought. Why do I share this story with you? Because just like you, my family had this vision of what life could be. Deputy Superintendent said that hope. And as a result of the great opportunity that this nation provides to its citizens, I was picked by the President of the United States of America, President Bush, in 2005, picked me to be a judge here on Long Island, a district court judge. And then a few years ago, President Trump, out of the blue, picked me to be on the higher court, the Circuit Court of Appeals. It's a lifetime appointment. You can't get fired. And it's like a dream. I can't believe I get to serve the public in this important way that Judge Trust feels. I'm worried when I wake up in the morning, my wife's going to say, you know that, Judge, go make the coffee. But it's not because I am the smartest person in this room. I went to St. Mary's High School in Manhasset, locally here. I'm not the smartest person. I didn't get this job because I have any connections to the President of the United States. You heard my family's background. I never contributed $1, not 1 penny, to any political party or any political candidate in my whole life. I never even met President Trump. It's simply a result of the great opportunity that this nation provides to its citizens. And my message to you today is this. This is very simple. The greatness of our nation and its unprecedented opportunities for freedom, for prosperity, and for happiness for every single citizen, from sea to shining sea, is available to all of you. And it's reflected in the fact that you all are here today, because in this courtroom today are 20, yay, I heard a cheer there, are 50 new citizens who come from every corner of the planet to participate in the greatest experiment in democracy that the world has ever known. And you come from every corner of the world, I know, because I asked for the list of countries where you're from. Right now in this courtroom are people from 26 different countries. This is crazy. Listen to this. I can do this in 1 minute. These students probably don't even know where some of these countries are. Right now, at Minneola High School, on February 12, 2025, 50 new citizens from our community have come from these countries to become a U.S. citizen. Bangladesh, Bulgaria, Burkina Faso, Chile, China, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Guyana, Haiti, Honduras, India, Italy, Jamaica, Mexico, Nepal, Pakistan, Peru, Russia, Trinidad and Tobago, Tunisia, Ukraine, Venezuela, and Vietnam. Give yourselves a round of applause. We could have the World Cup right now, right? No, you're on Team America now. But it warms my heart to read that list. There's no other country where people come from everywhere to live together in peace and in freedom. I just want to mention 2 things. I read that list very quickly, but I don't know if you heard. In these seats right now are people from Russia and Ukraine. What a great symbol that is, right? No matter what violence is going on in the world, and we stand with the people of Ukraine in their fight for freedom. But whatever violence is going on in the world, you can come here, live in peace and freedom together. The other country I want to mention, because it's such significance to our family, it's one of the reasons why this is my favorite thing to do as a judge. I think you can tell how excited I am to be here. China. China has special news. Our youngest son, George, was adopted from China. He's a naturalized U.S. citizen just like you. And that boy was left on the streets of China to die when he was a few days old. The only thing in his orphanage file is a police report that says the police found him on the street when he was like 2 days old. They brought him to an orphanage. They gave him a name. And for the first 2 years of his life, that kid was in the darkest place on earth. He had severe cleft palate. He has severe autism. He weighed under 20 pounds at age 2, malnourished. Nobody ever gave that kid a hug. He laid in a crib and cried every day. And 9 years ago, my wife flew 13,000 miles. She brought him back. He became a U.S. citizen. We have a certificate just like you're about to get when he landed at Kennedy Airport by virtue of his adoption. And 9 years later, let me tell you, that little boy is the best little boy there is. People say he's lucky to be a U.S. citizen, to be in the United States, and to have a family that loves him. That's all true. But we're lucky to have him. We fixed that cleft palate right away. It would have never got fixed in China. Autism, severe autism, which is what he has, you don't fix that. He's nonverbal. He's probably never going to talk for no reason. There's no reason he doesn't talk, but he's 11. And he talks with a talking iPad with symbols on it and his secret sign language that only I know what it is. Yeah, so when I go home today, he's going to go like this. That means I want to go to the swing right over here in Mineola, right next to Chaminade. And then he's going to go like this, and that means I want a chocolate milkshake at McDonald's. So we go right over to the McDonald's. We do that every Saturday and Sunday. And it's just such a lesson to our family that love can penetrate anything. Inside of him is the joy. There's a lot of dysfunction, but there's an inner joy that's just amazing. You know, sometimes the other night I did it with him again. I played a game with him and I'd say, George, was today a happy day or a sad day? And I put out both hands. He's at that happy hand every day of his life. There's been some challenging days, but he's never hit that sad hand. So you are part of a country that believes that even if you have disabilities, special needs, you don't get discarded. You have the right to be the best person God created you to be. So I thank God I live in a nation that allows us to have that little boy. And you should, for reasons like that, as an American, you should always be proud. You should always be proud to be an American because of the values that we stand for. Even though we're not perfect, we don't have to be perfect to be proud to share these values as a nation that are bigger than any person in this country. So I wish you my congratulations and best hope for the wishes for the future, for you, your family. And that's the most important thing I'm going to tell you. You have to celebrate this great day. Don't go back to work. You're laughing. You're going to call your boss up and say, the judge just ordered me not to go back to work, right? You can use me. But you have to mark this day. Life is short and it's fragile. When we have a day like this, a day of joy, you have to celebrate it with your family. It's a day of great courage and determination that has gotten you here today. Believe me, if we had each of you stand up and hear unbelievable stories of courage and determination. So I wish you my congratulations. I wish you my best hope and wishes for the future, for you and your family, that you share in our American dream, and that we all as Americans treat each other with dignity, with tolerance, and with respect. And we are all proud, all of us are proud today to call you my fellow citizen. Thank you very much. want to know, we have a gift for you today. You know you want to get a gift, right? It's not big, it's not a Porsche, don't get excited or anything, but we want you to have something to remember this special day by. So what do judges have in the courtroom besides the black robe? On TV, what do they have? The gavel, the hammer, right? We don't have real ones, our budget doesn't allow us to do that, but we have pencils that are shaped like gavels. Look at that. It's the United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York, so you can all go home and pretend to be Judge Judy, because she's the most important judge, right? So to give you those when you walk out, and I know the students are jealous. We're going to give each of you a gavel pencil for being here today. How's that? Thank you very much. May God bless you, and may God always bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Now, I don't want any of y'all to tell on me, but I'm taking Judge Bianco's gavel pencil with me. When we thank you, Judge Bianco? When we have had the opportunity to do these special naturalization ceremonies off-site from the courthouse, as Judge Bianco mentioned, on a morning like this, you've heard from judges, you've heard from educators, you've heard from talented, young, aspiring musicians. But we also thought it would be nice, it would be good to hear from one of your new fellow American citizens about their journey to today. So I now welcome Salim Arfawi. Come on, Salim. And the Oscar goes to? Wow, what an incredible day. I mean, look around this room. We all come from different places, we've all taken different paths, and yet today, we all share the same destination, U.S. citizenship. That means we are officially allowed to cheer loudly at fireworks on the 4th of July, debate whether a hot dog is a sandwich, and pretend we understand the rules of American football. Congrats to the Eagles fans, by the way. But more than that, today is a celebration of resilience, hard work, and the sacrifices that brought each of us to this moment. My own journey to citizenship wasn't an easy one. I came to this country in 2006 from Tunisia on an F1 student visa, full of ambition, but also with many uncertainties. So like many of you, I faced challenges I never imagined. Adapting to a new education system, navigating a new culture, and learning how to maneuver through the complex world of immigration law. And let's not forget learning how to survive the cold New York weather. But through it all, I kept moving forward. I earned my bachelor's, master's, and PhD degrees. I navigated through multiple immigration statuses. And today, and after years of hard work, waiting, and overcoming obstacles, I stand before you as a U.S. citizen. I know that each of you has your own story, your own path that led you here today. Some of you have been through your long journeys. Others have faced more uncertainty along the way. But one thing is certain. Our perseverance has brought us here. We didn't give up. We kept going, even when it felt like the road would never end. To the new citizens in the room, let me remind you, the process may have been difficult, but you're here today because you didn't quit. That same spirit of resilience, determination, and hope that brought us to this moment will help you succeed in whatever comes next. I'm deeply grateful to my family, especially my wife, who beat me to citizenship, but still stuck around to support, encourage, and of course remind me who was the first American in the house. To all the families and loved ones here today, thank you. You have been our strength, our support, and our motivation. Your encouragement has made this journey possible, and we celebrate this milestone together. As a professor at NYU,
I see students every day who are working hard to make their dreams come true, just as I did years ago. And the message I share with them is the same message I want to share with all of you today. The road may be difficult, but if you stay focused and keep pushing forward, you will get there. To the students in the audience, your future is being shaped today. Whether you were born here or immigrated here, what you do next is what will define your success. Your education, your persistence, and your willingness to take on challenges will determine the doors that open for you. Today is not just the end of a journey, it's the beginning of a new chapter. As new citizens, we now have the opportunity and responsibility to contribute, to give back, and to help make this country even better. So let's celebrate this incredible moment and look ahead to all the possibilities. Today we become citizens, tomorrow we shape the future. Congratulations to all of us, this is just the beginning. Cheers.
Thank you, Sullivan. So our students have a gift that they're now going to hand out to our new American citizens. We get students to come up and
The students have American flags that they want to hand to the new citizens to welcome to the United States and to congratulate them.
so as the flags are being handed, let me just tell you what's about to happen next. Or could Bianca come up and correct me? I just have a few remarks of thanks that I would like to give, and that will be followed by a wonderful musical performance from the Mineola High School Orchestra. Following that, we ask all of the new citizens to please stay in the room with the process that of receiving your certificates of citizenship, and then we will process out. We'll come back in to take some team photos. Okay. So this has been, we've got the music playing off the stage. This has been a wonderful morning. I'm sure for all of you, as you become new American citizens, and for each of us who've had the chance to be a small part of it, bringing together an event like this takes a lot of behind-the-scenes planning, a lot of coordination, a lot of effort and work by a lot of people, and I'd like to now thank all of those. I apologize if I do miss anyone. Please find me in the parking lot. But first, to the Mineola High School and Mineola School District for being our host, our wonderful host this morning for this event. To the town of Mineola, to the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, to Cora Mantell and her entire team, to the United States Marshal Service, to the Nassau County Police Department, to the Eastern District of New York, and particularly our clerk's office, and to the Second Circuit Executive's office. It looks pretty easy to put on an event like this after the hours and hours and hours and hours that it takes to bring it together and to coordinate it. So our thanks to all of them. And again, my individual thanks and welcome to our new American citizens. We're now going to hear our closing performance from the Mineola High School Orchestra of God Bless America. If you would like to sing along, the lyrics are in your program. So once again, thank you all, and welcome to our Year Six.
Thank you, students. You are welcome. You can go out on either side and go back. And congratulations to all of you again. What a wonderful day. And thank you for allowing us to share this with you. We'll be back and we're going to take lots of fun pictures. In the meantime, if you would like, if you're hungry or thirsty, please help yourself. There's some coffee, water, and snacks for you guys right up there in the front.